Hey everyone, welcome back to 100 Days of Comics with me, Zabethy. It is currently day 8 and I have a few questions that were asked. The first one I'm going to answer was left on my day 6 video, but I didn't really have time to answer due to being exhausted yesterday after work. All I had time for was to do my comics and then crash in bed. The questions come from Peter Palmiotti. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. If I'm not, let me know. If you have a way to pronounce it like phonetically, I would be grateful. Paul asks, are you a full-time teacher? Yeah, I'm currently a full-time university lecturer. I spend a good portion of my day talking to students or telling them how to improve or scheduling my next class. And his second question is, having a day job, what's your favorite time to work on your comic? So my favorite time to work on my comic is actually a little bit after I've gotten home and settled in. I usually work from 7 to 7, and then I get home, have dinner, have a meal with my wife, who has usually eaten already because we are on opposite schedules. She works for a company in the United States, which means that she has to wake up at 3:30 to work at 4. I am lucky to not be on that schedule. I'm not a morning person, as almost everybody who has been around me in the morning can attest to. I need about 12 cups of coffee before you talk to me. So yeah, I get home, I have dinner, we talk about my day, we talk about her day, we watch streamers, we watch some ArtTube or anime. Currently we're watching Toriko. Last week we were watching My Hero Academia because my students told me to and I listened. And then around 8:30 and sometimes 9, I finally get the gumption to walk into my little art studio that I'm lucky enough to have. It's about the size of a shoebox, but it works. And I set everything up and I start recording, and generally I sit down with the thought of you only have to do 30 minutes. You only have to do 30 minutes. And the next thing I know, an hour's gone by or an hour and a half's gone by, and then I'm editing video and uploading it and trying to get to the replies that I so sorely have been lacking on the past couple of days. I got through them all today, just so everybody knows I've done my replying. And then if it's not yet midnight, I post it up online at midnight, and I'll pop over to my mother's stream to watch it because she plays Fortnite and she streams that, so I like to support her and she likes to support me. You know, it's a family operation. Gotta have a good support system, I think. So I think those are both of your questions. If you have any more, don't hesitate to ask. I don't mind answering them. I actually rather enjoy having something to talk about when my brain has already just kind of flatlined. The next questions come from Karen Lewis Bonfiglio. Q&As. What lightbox are you using? Give me 1 second. So I am using a light up LED light pad. My wife got it for me about 4 years ago when she learned I was going to go back to school for animation. I've never used it for animation. She also bought me a bunch of really nice cell inks, and I have not once used them. They are beautiful and they sit in a shelf. I enjoy it. It doesn't get hot. It's LED, so you know. The only issue after 4 years that I've had with it is actually that the plug for it is a little bit loose, and so if you notice, every once in a while I'll knock it wrong and my thing will turn off and I have to turn it back on. I do turn it off purposefully, but sometimes just knocking it or jiggling it, it'll just flatline. I have to go through the process of figuring out, oh no, has it finally died on me? I think at the time of purchase it was pretty cheap, and light boxes, even for like really heavy ones, are super expensive here. too expensive for me to drop anytime soon. But she got it on Amazon and they shipped it here, and it's fantastic. It has like rulers on it and I love it. So the light box is really thin and really light, which when I was in university meant that I could transport it to one place or the other without really having to worry about the weight of it. And I think that had something to do with the charger no longer working, and not so much anything to do with it being 4 years or the brand. It's just wear and tear naturally. So yeah, I would really suggest, if you want a light box and you want one that will last you a good while and won't like overheat your hand like some of my other light boxes that I made in the past, Light Up's pretty great. Next question is, what do you plan on doing with the comic when it's finished? I haven't really thought that far ahead. I really want to put it online for free. I'm not entirely sure on where, because it's just a one-shot comic. It won't continue. So there are a lot of websites that it won't fit on. And I think that I would really enjoy making just like a short one-run floppy comic. Maybe sell it at Zine Fest or at markets, send online, and call it good. But I would have to look into printing companies for that possibly, if not just printing them myself, because to do your own run of a 20-page book is quite steep. Again, everything in New Zealand is expensive. It's an island, the south portion of the universe, of the world. Import-export costs, man, they're a killer. And Karen's last question looks to be, what inspirations are you drawing from to make the comic, other than a childhood connection? With this comic, what happened is I was falling asleep and I had these images in my head for like these full layouts and full story of these children. So I sketched them out in the dark with like my really, really dimly lit phone as light, because I didn't want to wake up my wife, which didn't work because she turned over and when I was on like the second page and she goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Honey, it's okay, go back to sleep. I'm just drawing out a dream, drawing out this comic that was in my head." Because in the past, what I've done is when I get that, I send myself an email, and I just have an email that says comic, and it has all these different comic ideas that are very, I don't want to say lazily. It's not lazy. It's lacking continuity in order to be able to be a real thing. When I drew the concept out, it just, like, it had this flow. And I worked on it over the next couple of weeks, actually, just figuring out what I would want the next page to look like, and it felt wrong. And then one night I went to sleep and I woke up and I knew what had to be there. I wasn't like fully asleep when I woke up, and I texted myself a full script for the last like 6 or 7 pages, because before that I was stagnating. It was just this perpetual, everything's going to be bad, everything's not going to have good dialogue, everything's not going to have whatever. And I wanted the story to be able to be told without dialogue if needed, but there was a little bit of a change to that plan with that dream. So I don't really know exactly what I'm drawing on, other than experiences that I had as a child. I have a deep fascination with the occult and with culture around it. I really enjoy reading metaphysical things, and I have a very scientific mind. I like to understand everything that I can about everything. But one of my shaping factors as a child was very much set in metaphysical and otherworldly or magical themes. I thought that these things could be possible, like things could be possible scientifically, like that magic is science that doesn't have an explanation yet, was something that I thought about a lot. And I think that essentially what I'm drawing from is dreams, experiences, stories I've been told growing up, whether they be ghost stories or supernatural things that happen to people, cautionary tales, all of those things just jumbled in one into a stream of consciousness that makes a 17-page comic. Yeah, so that's what I've been working with here. Anyway, thank you both for all of your questions. I really enjoy answering them, and you guys have both been so helpful in both inspiring me with the work that you have done, but also with the ability to ask questions that I wouldn't have thought about otherwise. Everyone watching, thank you for all of the support. I really can't express enough how helpful and how moving it is. It's only the first week, going into week 2 now, and it has been an experience, I tell you what. Thank you all for watching. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. I'll make sure to answer them in one of my next videos. Please like, subscribe, comment, hit a notification bell, whatever those YouTubers say. I hope you're having a wonderful day, night, morning, whatever time it is there, and I'll see you all tomorrow.